Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim and welcome back to Zielonka and episode 3 of the Let's Play series. So I hope you're all doing very well and having a nice day. As you can see, we're back over here in field 65. This is the field we did a harvesting contract for in the last episode. Now, as I've jumped back into the game to start making today's episode, we're still in the same game month by the way, still in August, but a contract had reappeared in this field again for cultivation, so I figured I had to take it on because it's paying just over £4,300 and we are completely skint. Obviously starting off as we have been, 6,260 quid we have in the bank at the minute, so I feel every penny I can get my hands on, I need to do it, really. So yeah, I didn't want to cover it again in a cinematic or anything like that because I literally did the same thing in the last episode in our field over there that we had limed and cultivated, so I thought I'd just get this done off camera and start the episode as we've finished. So first thing to do, let's go turn in this here contract, shall we? So yeah, £4,349. Boom, thank you very much. So we're now just north of £10,000, which is obviously it's we're far from being considered money bags, but it'll do for now. So, what's on the cards today? As I said, we're still in the same game month. We're still in August. As much as I'd love to just fast forward time and get cracking into September so that we start getting 2-day months, I just feel it would be a bit criminal and a bit silly of me to waste the time that we have ahead of us. We've got a lot to do. We've got a lot going on the farm, and I need to manage my productivity, I feel, and just make use of the time. There's no point, because I mean, what time is it now? It's 20 to 3 in the afternoon, so we've got several hours of potential work time ahead of us. So I think it would be a bit silly of me to waste that. As I say, we've got a fair bit to get done. I have some fields I'd like to get created. I have just been having a bit of a look-see at what I can do. And thanks to a couple of you who left some comments in the last episode, it has just made me think just a bit more. Or say a bit more, just a bit more sensible. Get my words out properly there. Right, let's turn this thing off for a second so I'm not talking over it. Right, there we go. Okay. Yeah, a couple of comments that were left to me in the last episode have just made me, you know, just, as I say, just think about things a little bit clearer. Yeah, and try and keep me sensible pants on, as it were. So, what have I got in mind? Well, I'm going to jump into flight mode for a start, just to show you and give you an idea of what I'd like to plan. So, as I mentioned in the last episode, I've got some space. We've got some land that we can start creating our own fields on. There's this area of land here, which essentially runs right up to the left-hand edge of that field. So pretty much from about here all the way down here is our land, and I can do with it as I please. I'd like to keep some of this area here free for potential future construction. We also own this grassland here, this area here that's full of trees. We own this area here, and we own this whopping empty area of land here, which I am going to turn into a nice big field. Now, if I hadn't have had the comments that or one of the particular comments that I'd had in the last episode, or I suppose both of them actually, I'd have just dived right in and maybe had a bit of regret afterwards. So firstly is to Stephen Garvin 3308, who left me a comment that just made me think a bit more sensible about the trees. I did mention that I might just essentially clear all these trees, get rid of them, benefit from them financially, sell them, chop them up and put them on a trailer and, you know, sell them. But then he did, rightfully so, consider that might spoil the landscape, spoil the view, so to speak. And I kind of agree with him, because you know, we all like some trees. They add life to the place, don't they? And that also got me to thinking regarding the way I wanted to potentially consider future constructions, specifically a cow barn. I did have my eye on a particularly small but very authentic looking cow barn that I think it only takes about 15 cows. And I know this is going forward into the future. I can't afford to do anything like that right now, but that's what I'm aiming to do. But I have had a look around, and there was a couple of other mods that I didn't actually have running in the game that I've now got running regarding cow barns, and the one I've now got my eye on, I think it's about 70 or 80 grand. It holds about 30 or 40 cows. It does also have an external pasture albeit a small one. It still looks as authentic as I'd like it to look. It looks really quite nice. When I do get round to putting it down here, some of you, the keen-eyed viewers, may recognise it from a particularly popular long-running YouTube series. But what I'd like to do with it, instead of putting that down here and doing something with it there, I'm going to nestle it into the trees, I think, here, because this area of land, obviously, yes, we could put a field into it again. I get that, but I think it might be, I don't know, it'll look nicer if I was to build it into here. So this is where I'm going to plan on placing a cow barn and then building some kind of track that links into all this here. So yeah, that's that. And also, another shout out to Farmer Ed Gaming, who very sensibly thought on regarding the grass. Now, again, if I hadn't had the comment from you, mate, I would probably have just done my usual characteristic of just jumping in like a bull in a china shop and ploughing into this field and creating some arable land, but not thinking onwards about the grass that's already here. I know we don't have any cows yet, but I do have a multi-fruit silo. And what it does mean, thanks to your comment, Ed, is that I'm going to essentially create the field boundary using courseplay. I'm going to record it and create the field that I want to work in, but both here and in the big area over there. I'm going to create the fields, and then I'm going to rent a mower and a windrower, and I'm going to mow the grass, row it up, pick it up with our forage trailer, albeit it's particularly small, so it might take me a while, but I can't imagine the yield's going to be massive on this land anyway, and that land. But essentially, pick the grass up, stick it in the silo, so I'm prepared for when the day comes that I do get some cows. So yeah, I think I hope you can all see my my method of thinking. So again, thanks to Stephen Garvin 3308 for your very helpful suggestions and mindfulness in being a bit more thoughtful about the trees and the views of the surrounding area, and to you, Farmer Ed, for making me think, again, sensibly, about keeping hold of the grass and doing something with it, and again, just keeping the belt firmly tightened on my sensible pants, as it were. Right, so, while we're up here, as I say, we're still in August. This field is still yet to be ready to harvest. I know we need money. This is, we do have, I think, about £10,000 worth at the minute of a couple of items, a couple of crops in the silo. What came out of this field, and this field is over there in the silo. I could just sell it now if I wanted to. I think I'd get about 10 grand for it instead of the max value of about 15. But I'm not going to do that just yet, because I know we need money, but I'm not, you know, absolutely desperate right now. We've got enough money in the bank now, 10,000 quid. I can afford to rent the mower and the windrow for as short a time as possible, get working in these fields. Yeah, we need to get some seed into this field here. We're going to get some canola into this field. And I think I am going to plough these two fields together to make a larger piece of land and turn them into one field. So that's the plan at the minute. Right, so anyway, let's jump out of Iron Man mode. Let's turn that off and turn that off. Right, there we go. Back down to earth with a bang. Normal speed, as it were. Right, anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. That's the approach I'm going to take. First and foremost, I feel we're going to map out the two new fields that we're going to create. I think I'm going to get that done. And I'm going to call it, I figured the way I'm going to number them is on the map, there's 91 fields. So I'm very imaginatively going to call this one, the closest one to us here, field 92, and the big one over there, field 93. So I'm going to jump into the Fiat here. We're going to get that started. So I shall see you over there in a matter of seconds. Right, okay, here we are. Just about to start mapping out the field. Now, what I do, this is a personal thing when it comes to field creation. Forgive me, I just thought I'd show you all how I'm going to do this. Using Courseplay, you can map out custom fields, record essentially just the shape of the field, and then the game records that, and then within that boundary, you can sort your field out, essentially. But because the lay of the land on this particular map, all the fields tend to be relatively square, so I'd like to try and keep the fields that I'm going to create here even remotely similar. So what I'm doing is as you might be able to see there, I've also got the GPS mod enabled. Now what I've done is I've just created a width of about 5 feet so that the vehicle will stay straight and true along the edges, so that from above, when the field is created, it will be nice and square and it will match the rest of the map essentially. So now I've got GPS on, I can just drive in a perfectly straight line while recording the course, while recording the field, and I can rotate this 90 degrees in the GPS menu when it comes to turning the corner and going along a different edge. So anyway, for those of you who are interested, this is how you do it. It's very simple. If you've got CORSAIR installed, you've got the CORSAIR heads-up display here. You essentially hit record. Now I'm going to dial down the speed because again I like to control the speed in which you go along. I suppose it's relatively irrelevant because I've got the GPS mod. But I thought I'd also keep it just in from the edge of the field so I know I'm not going to have any problems with land I don't own. So we're going to get to about here. Let's say we're going to bring up the GPS menu. Sorry, we're going to rotate 90 degrees. I'm going to turn it off very slightly there, and I'm going to make a nice... I'm not going to make an exact 90 degree bend there, but there. So we're going to enable GPS there. There we go. And now we're running perfectly straight along here. Who doesn't like perfectly straight lines, eh? So now we're going to get to about here, I reckon. We shall rotate it again by 90 degrees. Come out of there. Turn it off very quickly. We're going to get to about that one, I think. Forgive me, I seem to have a multiple button things from taking screenshots at the same time. Yes, so in fact I think we might just keep this. No, do you know what? Let's be a little bit creative with it, shall we? Let's get to about here. We'll turn off GPS there. Rotate it 90 degrees again. And go off to the left a tiny bit. There we go. Come out to about here, I think. Yeah. Rotate again. There we go. Now I need to be mindful of where I'm going to be heading off to the right in a second. I think we'll start about there. Let's turn off GPS, rotate again. Now I know the corners aren't dead sharp, I get that, but I'm not too fussed about that here. So there we go, let's run along here. And I should be able to, by eye, get a pretty decent idea of which lane I need to be turning right into to be able to join up perfectly with that one. So let's again turn off the GPS, let's rotate the 90 degree again, and we want to be going for that one. Is it that one? Yes, it is that one. So let's turn on GPS there. There we go. There we go. Perfectly neat and straight and OCD'd. Right, so now we've overlapped the finishing point. We can turn off GPS. We can hit the stop record button. And for now, we're going to call it CP1. Yep, right, okay. So, sorry, that was a bit long drawn out and a bit dull, but that's how I like to create fields, especially if you want them to have a lovely straight edge. So if I jump into the map now, we will see, hopefully, if all has gone to plan. There we go, CP1. Now, yeah, as I said, I know it's not got perfect right angles. I'm not too fussed about that, but generally, as a rule, when you look at that from above, it looks quite well, it's in keeping with the rest of the map, wouldn't you agree? Almost, apart from the slightly round edges, but I think it looks quite good, actually. Anyway, right. Okay, so I'm going to do the same as this over there. I'm going to get that done off camera, because I've got a funny feeling that that area over there isn't going to be quite as straightforward, because it doesn't lend itself to the perfectly straight lines, because it's just because of the lay of the land in which that area is in. So, I'm going to get over there now, I'll get that done, and I'll pick you up when that field has been created too. Right. Not that it looks any different, but there you go. I've just mapped out a completely invisible field. Now, if I... there we go. That's what we have now. So, field 92 and 93. That's a pretty big field, isn't it? It really is. I couldn't use the GPS thing that I did with that because the lines aren't straight. They're not perfectly north and south, so I just had to turn that off and just map the field out slowly but carefully. So I'm quite chuffed with that. Quite a big area of land. So, I think now, no time like the present, I have to crack on because we have a lot to do. I'm going to rent it's not a particularly big mower and a rower, both Samaz branded equipment. So I'm going to get myself over to the shop, get these rented, and I'll join you back up at the field in a minute when we've got both the bits of equipment over at the farm. Right, here we are. We've got the equipment we need. We've got this mower, which is rower, sorry, which is just over 8 meters in width, I think, and this Samaz KDF 341S mower, which is from the premium expansion, 3.4 meters in width, I believe. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to run the mower in both the fields. Now I'm not going to run the mower and the row at the same time because it's completely pointless because it just won't work properly. So I'm going to get the mower run in both the fields, and then I'm going to follow up with the rower. So I think I'm going to pop these two jobs into a bit of a cinematic. I'm going to compress the two jobs into one. So yeah, let's get ourselves into the smaller of our newly created field areas. As I say, get it put into a cinematic, and I shall see you all very soon.
Walking home late at night, maybe 2:30. A little drunk, but I'm alright, 'cause I've been hanging with you, and it feels like love. Tell me if I'm wrong, 'cause it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. Yeah. I think about you and I want you here with me. Am I out of my mind, or is this how it should be? You made me sing about love, so just tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Yeah. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. A little crazy for you. Hey. A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now, baby. I'm a little
Right, hello everyone. We're back. It's a bit later on in the day now. You'll have to forgive me. I made a bit of a mistake there. We've only, in the cinematic that I just made, I've only included the work that we did in this smaller of the two grass fields here. I forgot to press pause on the game earlier, and I came back to it, and sure enough, the mower had completely finished in the really big field over there. So I figured I'd lost all that footage, so I just left that be and just made the cinematic for the smaller one here. But anyway, as you can see, it's all mowed apart from this bit. But we've done all right out of it. As you can see, the Fiat is running the forage trailer, picking up the grass out of the big field now. It's all been mowed and rowed. It's picking it up, and at the minute, as we stand, we have 266,000 litres of grass in the silo now. And there's still, he's still got the headlands to finish off, and a tiny little bit of a couple of the up and down rows, so that will increase a little bit. So, time-wise, it's 6:05 in the evening. It's a lovely evening here, so I think what I will do to finish off this day, because this is still the first day in the game, essentially. We haven't passed forward into time. This was the first day that we started this series on 3 episodes ago. So what I think I'm going to do, I am going to jump in the IMT, I'm going to hitch up our plow, and I'm going to create fields on, and we're going to create our first field out of this lot now that we've got the grass out of it. So, yeah. I think I'm going to try and have a bit of a go at a time-lapse with that one, because I think it might look quite cool making a time-lapse out of creating a field job. So, we'll hitch up the plough, we'll get it in the field, and I shall pick you all back up when it's done. Right, hello again everyone. It's been a bit of a late one now, it's just gone 8 o'clock at night, but I've finished ploughing under the really big field. So, I've certainly made use of our first day here on the farm, haven't I? It's taken 3 episodes and it's now completely dark. But yeah, so I've thoroughly made use of all the time that I've had. Right, so, let's get ourselves back, clear up, tidy up, and I shall see you next month, essentially. Good morning, everyone. Right, here we are, September. Now we've got 2 days of work ahead of us, and I've just spotted some weeds. Lovely. And in there as well. And in there. Ah, brilliant. Okay. Well, what does the heads-up display say? This one says weeder. And this one says nothing. Right, okay. Well, I think what I'm going to do then, I did plan on joining these two fields together anyway with the plow, so I think, as this doesn't give me any instruction regarding a tool for removing the weeds, I think I'm just going to plough this, join these two together with the plow and plough the whole thing under as one then. At least then that'll have got rid of these weeds. But this one, I know we cultivated it in the last episode, so we know this is ready to seed, so I'm not going to plough this under again and then cultivate it again, not this time anyway, so I think I will have to rent a weeder, won't I, to get rid of these. Let's just check. I hope that there's nothing untoward. No, there we go. Our lovely ploughed fields. No, these ones are alright. And I have, in this series, I've turned fieldstone off. I just fancied a break from them, to be honest. I do have them turned on in my other Court Farm series, and as handy as it might be, sometimes we can use them, but I just quite fancy them having them turned off in this series, so, yeah. Right, so, yeah, that's what I need to do, really. I need to rent a weeder, go and pick that up from the shop and get it into this field. What I would like to do, if I jump into the menu here, what I would very much like to do, now that I've got a bit of time ahead of me now, at least a couple of days anyway, I'd like to get all the fields to the same state, to get them to this cultivated state, so that they're all ready to receive a drilling of seed, and then it'll be maybe just a bit easier for me to go forward from there. So I need to get these two joined together, make one big field, ploughed, cultivated. I need to cultivate this, cultivate that. This one's obviously, as you can see, already cultivated, and then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields ready to drill. Now, field 60, the red beet, that's obviously not quite at harvestable stage yet. That might be, well, it could be this month, it could be next month if we go to the crop calendar. Where are we? Scroll down for red beet. Yeah, so we've got August, September, October. Oh, no, right, so any time between now and the next 3 months, essentially. So, at least that does give me one less job to have to do right now. So, yeah, as I said, I'd like to get all of the fields ready to a cultivated state. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to get the IMT out again, and we shall connect it up to the plough and get that running and join these two fields up here. And we shall jump in the Fiat and get cultivating in the other two fields that we've just created, essentially. So yeah, right, I shall pick you all back up very shortly. And we've got a bit further on. Right, I have finally got myself where I wanted to be. Let's just get this thing into the field here, and I shall jump out and show you what we've been up to. Nothing too exciting, of course, just feel a bit light on its front end, that does. Well, I've just leased this Gorenk 6-metre weeder. I'm going to get it run in this field, but as you can see, we now have a slightly bigger field. Ploughed and cultivated, no more weeds, thankfully. but I have now got all of my fields where I wanted them to be. So if I pop into the menu there we go. So 62 and 63, which are now 1. I can't get that, annoyingly, that little tiny piece of ploughed land. I can't get the cultivator over it for some reason. It just doesn't. I've leveled it, I've smoothed it off. Just can't seem to get it to bite, so I'm just going to have to leave that be. But yeah, 62, 63, obviously 59s, that's we know that one. And 92 and 93 are now ploughed, cultivated, and ready to receive a drilling. So, excellent. It's only been a couple of hours. So just before 10 o'clock, I think it was about 7:30 when I started this morning. But yeah, no, forgive me for doing it all off camera. Obviously, having done cultivated a couple of fields already at least, and ran the plough as well. I didn't want to just rinse and repeat and bore you guys to tears. So I've got these jobs done. So I'm very happy with that. I do need to get myself a scanner because I need to get the precision farming data for the land. Primarily for the 2 new fields, but yeah, I am just conscious that I don't have a huge amount of money. Obviously, we've got £7,309 at the minute, so yeah, I will be getting all this stuff. Don't get me wrong, but as I say, I'm just conscious of my particularly small bank balance. So I'll just take things stage by stage at the minute. Right. Anyway, so. The jobs left to do immediately now are to get this field weeded and start getting some seed into the ground. Obviously, I need to buy some seed, so that's going to mean a trip to the shop with the trailer and get them to throw some bags of seed onto the trailer for me, so I can at least load up and get some drilling done. But first and foremost, we're going to get the weeds out of this ground. So again, maybe another short cinematic here, because I've been excited to get into this wee beastie already. I'm glad we are now. Found something that can do. This weeder only takes about 45 horsepower. The Zetor has 55, so that's all good in my book. It sounds brilliant. It really does. Right, so let's get this done, and I shall join you back in a matter of minutes.
you didn't catch me looking over my shoulder, just at the right time. Those little moments all let me you, only got you got all those little moments. All those little moments.
Right, there we go. All sorted. So, and another quick way of getting the lime off your tractor, just in case you were wondering, just drive around in a circle for a minute or two on your soily field, and it gets rid of the white lime mask and turns it back to a nice, normal, old, worn, muddy brown colour. So, because I don't have a jet washer on the farm yet. Right, it's incredible how forgetful I can be sometimes, I must admit. Let me just turn off super speed a minute, forgive me. There we go. Yeah, I mentioned earlier on that I'm going to need to go and buy some bags of seed, but of course I'm not, because I placed down this seed tank in the last episode, didn't I? We got this in the lime tank, so I don't need to buy it. I don't need to go and buy any extra seed. I just pull up to here and fill up. So yeah, it's a good job I remembered that, isn't it? So anyway, right, I have also just recognised roughly how long this video is going to be. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it here for today's episode, and we're going to pick up pretty much exactly where we are now at the beginning of the next episode to get the seed in the ground. So, because I think I do like to do my cinematics, and I do like to, will probably put the drilling into a cinematic, but I've done 2 or 3 in this episode now, so I don't want to bore you to tears with more of them. So yeah, the weeds are out the field, that's the most important thing. We've got this field now, a big field made into one, so next episode is going to all be about drilling. I shall have a think about what crops we can put into the ground. Now that we're in September, we have a much wider choice. Obviously, we have wheat, barley, and canola now, and I suppose we could plant grass or oilseed. Obviously, I don't need oilseed radish right now, or grass. We've got plenty of that. That was actually what I meant to bring up as well. If I just show you the final amount, we have 378,148 litres of grass in our silo here. That's what came off the 2 grass fields that we mowed before we ploughed them under. So when the day comes to get some cows, we've got a good head start on it. We've got tons of the stuff. So yeah, that's great. So yeah, right. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun and a bit interesting. As always, if you're new to my channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting the subscribe button and joining the channel. And obviously, if you can, give the video a like if you've liked it, and leave me some comments if you have any suggestions for me. And there will be a host of links in the video description below, as I am a Giants partner. If any of you are in the market for a DLC, a season pass, an add-on, or even the full game itself, this premium expansion, if you fancy it, there'll be links in the video description below. So if you fancy helping out a content creator, as always, I would be massively appreciative. So thanks again, everyone, and I shall see you in episode 4.